Hey, it's Kenny with Helicopter Land Ground School. Got a short video for you today and a short topic, and we want to talk about the written test practice within Helicopter Online Ground School that we have for our different courses. Okay, you're going to find when you get to the end of each course, you are going to have one test for wings credit, and then the other test is just a self-assessment, okay? So this video is coming number 2 behind the video that's already explained to you about wings credit. So this video, I'm not going to go into that because there's a specific video before this one in the course that explains how to get your wings credit by taking that written test. This video is for the practice written test. And this is how you get a completion certificate for going through the videos in Helicopter Land Ground School. To get a certificate, what you do is you go through the videos. When you get to the end of the course, you take this associated written test, and I'm going to roll a video here shortly that shows you exactly how to view it and how to download the certificate. So we're going to get to that in a minute. So you go through the course, watch the videos, take the associated written test, pass 70% or higher, and then you can download the certificate and you can view every single question. And you can print the whole entire course if you like. So, one thing I want to point out, just today I talked to one of our Helicopter Land Ground School members on the phone. And he was getting ready for his check ride in about a week, and he wanted a certificate. He signed off and he has his FAA written test done. He has his copy of that, but he just wanted the additional certificate to prove that he used a home study course. And he said, hey Kenny, I just want to let you know something. He goes, I was going through the course on the iPad, and when I first was trying to do the written test, I couldn't see the download certificate button. And he said when he was having the conversation with his wife, she said, well, you may need to download Chrome or another browser. And that's what he did. So he had to download Chrome on his iPad in order to see that download. So this is an update to this written test practice section. If you're on an iPad, you may have to download a different browser. You should have no trouble on a laptop or a desktop, but if you're using an iPad or an iPhone and you don't see where you can download your certificate, it's because you're going to need to download a different browser. So something that just popped up, never happened before, but I was glad he called and glad he pointed that out to us because now we can relay to those of you. So real quick, this completion certificate is for the written test practice right here inside Helicopter Land Ground School. All this is a completion certificate stating you've went through the videos, you've taken an associated written test, and you download the certificate. So it's for your own benefit. It's something you can have for yourself. You can show it to your instructor. It's not actually a required document to take to your check ride, but this gentleman, his instructor is a ex-military pilot, and he likes everything in order, and he said, I would like you to download that certificate. I'd like to add that to the paperwork. Makes complete sense, so that's what it's for. So I'm going to have Heather cue up the video, and we're going to roll that. It's only about a minute or so, but it'll explain to you exactly how when you take this practice written test, it'll show you exactly how to do it. Go ahead, Heather, and roll it. Hey, I just want to show you real quick how this works for going through this practice test. Now this is for just your own practice. This is not for wings, and that's what it says right there. So you can take this just for practice, and then you can download a certificate showing what you scored, and you can actually look at what you did. So I just ran through one real quick, and I got 86%. Showed when I started it, when I finished it, because I actually was using it over a few days, making some videos. And we were playing some helicopter trivia on YouTube. So here's what's cool. You can see what you scored, download a certificate if it's just for whatever reason you just wanted to prove to your instructor that you had took a practice written test. Again, not for wings, but it's pretty cool. You can download the certificate. I did that. I'll open it up and show it to you. So there it is, kind of cool. Let's go back and show you something else. So you can go down here and you can view every single question, what it was, see what you got right, see what the correct answer is for the ones that you got wrong. You can look at the whole entire thing, and then if you want to, you can actually print it. You can print right here, print this page. I put it down to about, in the settings about 6 questions per page, 10 sheets. I had my whole 100 questions to take a look at. So it really is kind of cool that you can go in, test your knowledge, download a certificate if you like. Again, this is just for your own purposes, and then you can go through and view every single question and figure out what you got right and what you got wrong. Pretty cool. Okay, so you just watched us shoot a new video for our courses inside Helicopter Online Ground School. So now we'll chit chat with you. Not too many people here today, but we didn't send anything out. I see Daniel almost always here. Terry, great information. Thank you. Terry is here very often. And that's it. So in case you happen along this video later, after the live event, that was an intro. We just shot a brand new intro for the written test practice. So if you're brand new to Helicopter Online Ground School, we have private pilot, commercial pilot, instrument pilot, certified flight instructor, and we now have an actual helicopter add-on course along with a rusty pilot / flight review. Those are brand new courses, so we have to check out the written test practice on those because that hasn't been developed yet. But currently for private pilot, commercial pilot, instrument pilot, and certified flight instructor, we have monthly memberships, and then we have a big professional pilot package where you can get all of those 4 courses combined all together. Okay, and we actually add the rusty pilot to the professional pilot course as well. Now the professional pilot's a one-time fee. You keep it as long as you like. And if you're interested in that, because you watched this video and hung around, I'm gonna throw out my code KK25 off. You can get 25% off that professional pilot membership that again includes private pilot, commercial pilot, CFI, and instrument. So we created the written test practice several years ago just to give you an option. Our members use many different things, whether you use the ASA test prep book or some other software you find on the internet. There's quite a few different things out there. And of course, you're welcome to use anything within your resource to prepare for a written test, okay? We just provided this practice test there for you as an additional bonus to the membership. And it's just nice because you don't have to go to another site. You can take these practice tests right there. We do need to go in and update those. Operations Manager Brian Rutledge, that's one of his next jobs after he finishes up the weather section that we've been working on in Private Pilot. He's been working on producing brand new videos. He's getting close to having the weather section completed and all updated. This will be one of the things he needs to do next is go in and check on all the written test practice. We've been talking about that. But I just recently took one of those, and the questions are still very relevant. Don't think that they're not, because they are. You might find a few, but you know, with written test practice, that's always a problem, right? Even the FAA will tell you when you're taking the written test, some questions may be outdated or may have wrong answers. If so, you get credit for those answers. Something else I was going to mention before I rolled that video, when you guys and girls are taking any kind of a test, whether it's our written test practice that we have, or you're going to the FAA test site, or you're getting ready to take your written test or your oral test, you got to make sure you read the directions, right? We have so many people that we answer questions to where they didn't read the associated material that goes along with a certain testing. Again, whether it's us, PTS for the private check ride, whatever it is, always make sure that you look. There's always some type of accompanying list of a checklist before you take a test. So make sure that you check, like, for example, for our written test practice in any of our courses, make sure you read the text below the video and watch the video, because most of the time your questions will be answered in those test taking tips. So back to our courses, just want to let you know what we have out there and available. We have customer service now 7 days a week. Heather, who is running cameras today, takes your text and or phone calls at 574-767-1797. Heather can field most of your questions about Helicopter Online Ground School membership. You can get to all those memberships down below this video in the description box. There's a link for helicopterground.com where you can view all of our courses, see the choices. We have 24-hour test flight on the monthly memberships. Heather can answer most of your basic sign-up questions. And then if there's something that's beyond Heather's scope of what she answers, since she's not a rated pilot, she moves it on to Brian or myself. And another benefit for you to know if you're brand new to us or a current member who hasn't seen one of our videos recently within the last 4 months, Brian Rutledge is our full-time operations manager, and we are giving a free 30-minute phone consultation for any current member that hasn't used this offer yet, or anybody brand new that signs up for any one of our courses. You get a free 30-minute phone consultation with Brian. And the beauty of that is, for those of you who are add-on pilots working on an add-on rating, Brian started in airplanes 30 years ago and then became a helicopter pilot after being an airplane pilot. He's now dual-rated CFI in both airplanes and helicopters. He just retired in the spring from a sheriff's department who he worked for 25 years. When he left, he was in charge of the airplanes and helicopters for the sheriff's department he was working for in California. And Brian is a highly experienced airplane and helicopter pilot. So Brian can answer those questions for many of you who are doing add-ons. I can relay what I know and what I've heard, but I did it the opposite way. I did all my helicopter ratings first. So if you're going straight to helicopter and then adding airplane on later, I'm the guy. I've done it that way. Brian's a flip-flop. Brian started with fixed wing and then moved to helicopter and now teaches in both. So Brian can sometimes give you a better, some better feedback and help you steer you in the direction when you're making that transition from airplane to helicopter. Again, because he did it. So we'll check see who else is here. Ryan Kreider, thanks Kenny, awesome. So I'm going to kind of wrap it up with that. We just want to do something real quick today that was important. Again, written test practice is available for you currently in private pilot, commercial pilot, CFI, and instrument. You can take that self-test just for practice. You can download a certificate, which we showed you earlier in the video, how to download that certificate. Then there's an accompanying test that is for FAA Wings credit. Inside the site, there is a video for that where we explain to you exactly how the Wings credit works. And we even go through and tell you who can get the credit for Wings and why you would want to do that type of thing or why you would want to sign up for Wings credit. We go through that and explain why the Wings credit is available to you. You could do them both if you like. You could do the FAA Wings test and do that credit, and then you could also do the self-test just for your own practice. Remember, for taking your FAA written exam, that you still need a sign-off from your instructor that you're prepared to go take that test. We do not provide that specific endorsement for you because you're working with your instructor. They're preparing you for your check ride. You can use a home study course like ours, and you can get that certificate, and that's beneficial to show your instructor, hey, I've went through all their videos, I scored so many % on the written test. Your instructor can look at that and go, okay, great, but your instructor still has to test your knowledge and at least ask you some questions and make sure that he feels comfortable or she feels comfortable that you are prepared to go to the FAA testing center and take that test. So that endorsement still must come from a certified flight instructor. And normally that case would be whatever instructor that you're working with that's preparing you to go take your check ride for whatever rating that you're working on. And another question that comes up a lot is, can I do the written test prior to doing the flight training? You can, just like you can use ground school before starting the flight training. You can certainly do it that way. But what we always tell people, it really kind of works best if you're combining it all together. If you get started with your flying, get started with your ground school, get started with your written test practice, and ultimately a good general rule is if you can have that written test, the FAA written test completed and out of the way before your first solo, then you're doing really, really well. You're doing good and you're on a good path. What we see that is a problem many times, somebody's down to the last minute, their check ride's a week away, and they're finishing up last minute maneuvers and they're finishing up studying and they're still getting ready to go take their written test. You don't need that stress a week before your check ride. So on these FAA written tests, again, a good rule, get that thing done before solo. Not required, but if you can do it that way, it's going to help you out in the long run. All right, so reach out to us if you have any questions about any of our courses. Again, you can text or call Heather at 574-767-1797. You could also email Brian. I'm going to go ahead and throw Brian's email out there now that he's 4 months into HOGS full-time as our operations manager. He helped us for many years in the past on a part-time basis, but now that we've got Brian really digging into the site, helping me update new content, people have been enjoying getting Brian's insight. You know, I've been giving my insight for 10 years in video, 870 videos I now have on YouTube. So I've covered pretty much about everything somewhere along the way. And Brian has a new fresh take, right? So people have been really enjoying talking to Brian on these consultations. So do us a favor, subscribe to the channel, click the bell so you'll be notified of our weekly videos, and we shall see you in the next video. Peace out.